what's going on, everyone? It's Dave Kim for Grand Rapids Rock Alternative 97.9 GRD and Diffuser.fm. I am at Lollapalooza 2013 in Chicago. Now, right now in the background, you hear one of my favorite bands right now, New Order. And right next to me is one of my new favorite bands right now, Atlas Genius. Got Keith and Michael. Guys,
if you want to go ahead and watch the show, that's cool.
Yeah, we mean to hold you up.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll do. You head off, and we'll take care of this one.
I'll bring Bernard over here.
Sure.
We got the round table.
Nice.
Now, you guys have been, I remember I read your bio, and you said that there was a time when you thought maybe the music stuff wasn't going to work out. You should go back to the university, do your studies.
Yeah.
Now, things have taken off, obviously, with Trojan, and if so, getting a lot of airplay. How vindicated do you feel right now?
Yeah, definitely. In a way, you feel vindicated. I mean, the situation for us before Trojans started to take off is that we'd spent a lot of time writing and building a studio and doing all these things, and music, there's a lot of great bands out there, and getting your music noticed is a difficult thing. So it didn't seem like a viable thing. And, I think we had some friends and family that kind of thought maybe we were a little bit nuts. So I mean, it's kind of nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you released your album when it was now back in February.
Yep.
But I remember reading an interview that you already talked about writing new music so soon. Are you one of those bands that are constantly writing, or are you already thinking ahead about the future?
I feel like we go through phases. So it's kind of like, in a way, you have pent-up creativity where if you haven't written for a few months, you feel like you just... I think as a musician or as an artist, to stay healthy, you need to get that out.
Right.
And I think like we're definitely at the point now where we're working on some new stuff. It probably won't be for a few months until we get time to be in our studio again, but we're definitely sort of working at the early stages.
I'm really feeling the album. Backseat, I think, is my favorite song off the record. How long did it take you to make this record to your liking?
I mean, well, that's a good example. You picked the one song that was the easiest. Like, Backseat was written, recorded, almost mixed in literally in one day.
Wow.
We've never done a song that quick. Normally, there's a whole process that goes into a song, and then we were just with that one there. Every so often you feel inspired, and that came out quick. But I mean, the whole album took I guess like maybe a year or so. But when you consider like the time there were songs we were working on before Trojans was released that were kind of close. So that some of those didn't take too long to finish, and then there were other songs that we wrote after sort of the initial attention of that song. So I'd say maybe a year.
All right, that's not too bad. Now I was talking to other Australian bands, and you're from South Australia. A lot of artists don't really get to make it out there on a regular basis, but there seems to be a lot of just great music coming out of there year after year. Do you think eventually that will change, where more artists will come through there on a more frequent basis, or is it just the distance to?
I think that's the thing. Just the distance is difficult.
Once you're there, it's not a huge amount of markets to play as well, compared to the USA.
I mean, we just did a tour back in Australia, like an Australian tour. It took us 2 weeks. Whereas if you tour America, it takes you a good couple of months before that's just to do the major markets, let alone a whole bunch of other second tier that are big cities. So it's a hard one. Like, it would be great if more bands went out there, but I get that it's expensive to get out there, and it's got to be worth their while. I've got to be able to fund the trip.
Yeah. Right. Now, you guys are just constantly touring, especially in the U.S. First time I saw you was this year. You opened up for Imagine Dragons at the Fillmore Detroit back in March.
Yeah. Good venue.
Pardon?
Good venue.
Yes. I'm from Detroit, so it's a beautiful city. And now, you guys, you have musicians that obviously tour with you. How did you find them? They're from the States, I think, right?
No, Darren, our keyboard player, is English, so we actually met in Australia. He'd moved over there just before. He's been there for about 4 years, and Kevin is actually from California.
Okay, all right. And was it just an auditioning process?
I was just love at first sight,
On the street.
Right.
Yeah.
We're walking down. Who is this guy?
I think it was Starbucks.
We need him in this band.
He has so much swagger.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, you guys, I really like that you kind of have a sense of humor, because there's that, I think it's called Children Interviewing Bands or some kind of YouTube thing.
Yeah.
I watched that. I know it will be awkward no matter what, but when they approached you for that, what was your reaction like?
I mean, they're gorgeous kids. They were really, really cool. So I think we were like one of their first. I think they'd only done about 3 or 4 interviews at that point. Hopefully I haven't actually seen recently, but I think they've done a bunch since. So to get into journalism at such a young age is good.
Very true.
Yeah.
It could be the next Kurt Loder or something on
Hopefully.
MTV News. Now, finally, with the success of with Trojans and now ISO, does that put more pressure on you on the follow-up?
Yes and no. I think the good thing is when you're actually in the studio and you're really feeling it, all that kind of stuff really goes away. There is always that pressure. I mean, and every band has that. I mean, if you're Coldplay and you've had 4 or 5, massive albums, I guess they still feel it as well. Who knows? I think really the best thing you can do is write music that you're 100% happy with. Rather than chase commercial success or whatever, which is kind of fickle. It's hard to know what what radio is going to play or what the market's going to want. So I think the best you can do is just
please yourself.
Be happy with it yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you have to be happy, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Atlas Genius. They were playing at. Oh no, wait! You guys played today.
We did.
We're done.
How was other festivals you have lined up? Are you going to like Oshiaga?
We are tomorrow.
We'll fly tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's Dave Kane for 97.9 GRD and Diffuser.fm.